Old money loves new money and the hypocrisy of it all. Welcome to you, my name's Dale and this is Dale's Addiction. I thought I would jump back into the debate on quiet luxury and how it's been linked to old money and new money off the back of a few videos I've watched recently. Amelia Rose recently published a video called Luxury is Not Luxury Anymore. And in that video, she referenced a whole bunch of reasons, particularly around Chanel, that lends itself to luxury fashion being more similar to fast fashion than it ever has been before. In her video, she referenced Anna Bay's video called Are Price Increases the End for Chanel? And in watching both of those videos and other commentary currently happening in the luxury community, I've come to this perspective that old money needs new money. And it's really hypocritical to start gouging prices if that is what the strategy is for, say, the likes of Chanel, to continue their purpose, which I mentioned in my Chanel price increase video, which I will link above and in the description box below, where Chanel's purpose is the ultimate house of luxury, defining style and creating desire now and forever. How can you create desire when you are not relevant to today's crowd and when you're affordable and easily obtained through the boutique, through the pre-loved market, or, dare I say it, via replica distributors? Now, Amelia referenced this part of Anna Bay's video where she talked about Chanel's price increases being a strategy to return the brand to its former glory and to reduce this kind of, my words, democratization of luxury, to make it more appealing and desirable to the original people who would have been wearing Chanel.
Because the argument doesn't just stop there. Decades ago, the type of clientele that would buy the Chanel classic flap bags was quite different to the clientele that is buying this bag today. If back then we would spot this bag on some, let's say, chic old money lady or some high-end celebrity or sophisticated upper-class people, then today this bag is seen across not always very classy people or people that you aspire to resemble.
Now, if you flick back through some of the Chanel marketing campaigns that you can easily find on Google, even as closely as the 90s, you can see the kind of marketing campaigns were less about logo mania, still absolutely recognizable as Chanel, but through the fabrics, the design, the colorways, the styling. Today's advertising campaigns for Chanel are very much aimed at a different crowd, despite what their pricing strategy may have you believe. I loved Amelia Rose's take on this topic in her video. I wrote a comment, I'll pop it up here. I said, great video. I think luxury brands are cannibalizing themselves. They use super young models and style bags with streetwear in editorials and then wonder why everyone wants the look. They aren't styling their bags for old money. When I flick through a few of the recent marketing campaigns, you've got Kristen Stewart on a train. I mean, is that really the look Chanel are going for? People catching public transport in Chanel ready-to-wear? You've got a young woman in her bathroom getting ready to head out with her Chanel 22 bag. There's a whole bunch of marketing campaigns, and the women that are in them primarily are super young, super casual, wearing very street-looking outfits. There's full of logos. It's almost too much logo. None of this complies with some of the rules that we understand to be old money. You know, the whole stealth wealth attitude. Chanel's advertising campaigns aren't stealth wealth at all. Chanel's advertising campaigns are aimed at teenagers and people in their 20s who either have to ask mum and dad for this money, hopefully have a nice trust fund, or are hustling, and if they can't, well, DHgate's going to get their money, isn't it? And then you wonder why we're seeing so much of this luxury content in social media with the new money people, it's because that is exactly who they're advertising to. Now, I'm picking on Chanel here because Chanel have the most aggressive price increase schedule twice a year, guaranteed. Chanel are perceived to be marketing to more of their older traditional clientele, yet they're not. And Chanel are the ones that are, let's just say, starting to create a lot more exclusivity in the way that they stock their bags, how they offer their bags, how they market their bags, making them more difficult to get hold of due to price and availability. It seems to be quite hypocritical to me to be pushing a market that is more established in their life and, more prestigious, you might say, yet all of your campaign material is aimed at young women, young people on social media who are going to share the fact that they have these pieces and how they're styling them in an everyday way. In a recent Q&A of mine, and Amelia also addressed this in her video, somebody wrote a question about, are there more collections happening, or is it just our perception based on what's happening on social media? And I had a little think about it, and I thought, it's like how the 24-hour news cycle started. We don't rely on a daily newspaper anymore to get our news. We expect to get the news on an ongoing basis. Imagine what it's like for luxury houses now that social media is here and that they are successfully appealing to the younger generations. A lot of people that I know, including myself, us old people, didn't get our first luxury bags until our late 20s or early 30s. People are getting their first luxury bags in their mid-teen years now. They're asking for them for their 18th and 21st birthdays from their families. This just wouldn't have been heard of when I was growing up. And so if you relate that to all of the collections that are coming out, well, of course the luxury houses need to stay relevant. Of course they need to have something new and exciting coming, because we know how quickly the cycles move. If you don't drop a capsule collection in June and your fall winter collection doesn't come until August, September, what are people going to buy between March and August? It's a big gap, isn't it? And so you can see why luxury houses are motivated to keep trickling new collections through to stay relevant, to stay talked about, and to stay in the socials. And you have to wonder, can they ever go back from that? Now, on the flip side of this argument, I say, why can't luxury change? Why does luxury have to be about something that's classic and timeless and forever? Why can't luxury be about something that's relevant, modern, practical, useful, fun, trendy even? Because it's made from beautiful materials, because it's made in a quality way. Now this, I cannot say for sure that Chanel have as part of their strategy, because based on their current quality issues, one might assume they could be cutting a few corners there. But let's just say they're not. Let's just say if they could maintain quality and design, but also stay relevant and trendy and fun and practical and modern, why isn't that a good thing? Why isn't it a good thing to join the luxury community at a younger age than waiting until the right time in your life, when you've taken care of your bills and you've been sensible to buy your first luxury piece? I'm sure if we all thought about it, we would have loved to have gotten into the game a lot earlier than we did. But due to our circumstances, or perhaps our values, or just our generational differences, we didn't. That's on us, not on the younger generation. This one's quite funny. Everybody hates the concept of being elite, and yet this is what a few of the luxury houses are doing. I don't think all luxury houses are looking for this elitism, but certainly a couple are that I can think of. I'll let you figure out if you can tell which ones I'm thinking of. But in any case, we struggle with this whole concept of elitism, but we love the idea of exclusivity. Isn't that interesting? We can't connect the two, but the two are intrinsically connected. And this is the whole problem with the luxury, with the concept of luxury, the people who buy luxury and the people who make luxury, that there is so much hypocrisy about what it is, what it means, who can be in the club and who can't. Why is it that the classics mean status and wealth, and yet the more modern, practical, functional bags don't mean that. I mean, in real life, when things change and evolve and they're innovated to be better, we jump on them. And you look at the people who are buying the best cars, the best computers, the best cameras even. They're looking for things that are modern, innovative, and at the top of their game, not old classics that were made in 1955. So if I put all of this information into the pot and I stir it a little bit, it becomes pretty clear. Old money needs new money to survive. They just don't want to admit it. They don't want to say it out loud. It's something that nobody wants to accept, but it's the reality of the situation. I, for one, I have some personal challenges which are mine and mine alone. And those challenges are, I find it really confronting to accept that people who don't have a home and don't have a career yet are spending their money on luxury. It doesn't affect me personally. I find it confronting because I just think, oh goodness, what impact is that going to have on you and your future prospects as you move forward? But that's their problem. It's the same as getting a tattoo on your face. You can remove it, you can sell a bag, we live and learn. And I don't think it's anyone else's business what other people are doing with their money. For me though, I say it's personally confronting because I think, did it take me so long because of reasonable circumstances? Did it take me so long because I wasn't as successful as these people were at that age? That's something for me to deal with. It's not something for them to deal with. I don't think luxury items need to be put on a pedestal and be an inspiration for success and hard work. My good friend Connor from the channel The Closet by Connor has commonly mentioned that he has a 9-to-5 job for his day-to-day, and he has side hustles for his luxury addiction. And that's the way a lot of the young kids are doing it these days. And I think good for you. If you accept early that your 9-to-5 is not going to give you everything you want, and if you want those extra things, those luxuries of life, then you're going to work for it, I think that's fantastic. And I think that's something that the younger generation could teach the older generation about ways in which to get what you want. Take counterfeits and reps out of the situation for a moment. They obviously have a place because there are a lot of young people who are probably still in school who can't hustle the way they need to make $15,000 to buy a Chanel small classic flat. And so they want to get a piece of the pie whilst it's relevant to them and their social groups. But ultimately, these are the consumers of the future. And these brands are doing well to capture their minds and aspirations way earlier than what they ever did in the past. You think about it, if Chanel are now advertising or appealing to 14 and 15-year-olds around the world, what opportunities does that give them in their talent pipeline for customers moving forward? It's significant. And I think the reps really help them with that. So this luxury game, it's full of hypocrisy. It's full of BS, to be honest. And it gives us something to talk about, something to explore, something to understand, and I guess some self-reflections that we can all make about why do we get so upset about these things? Why do we have such problems? Why are we so personally confronted? We, as in people who already own and purchase and aspire to purchase luxury items. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on this topic. It's one that I'm sure is going to continue to evolve throughout the luxury community. I'd like to thank Amelia Rose for her video. It really inspired me to think hard about whether or not I was going to contribute on this level of old money and new money, and I'm glad that I have. Hopefully it's made some sense to you. Check out the videos that I have linked in the description box, Amelia Rose, Anna Bay, and mine, and I'll also link Connor's channel in the description box below. If you've liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, consider subscribing if you haven't already. I would love to see you back here. I put out videos on Wednesdays and Sundays, sometimes some extras. So until then, ciao.